Hello, YouTube. This is an alcohol review of Creek Water. Or to my friends and family, Crick Water. It says here on the label, American whiskey distilled from bourbon mash and finished with toasted wood chips. Finished. A little bit, that means it's not barrel aged. But American whiskey, well, a bourbon has to be aged in charred white oak barrels for a given period of time, roughly 4 years. This is an American whiskey distilled from a bourbon mash. Let's see. Bourbon mash needs 51% or more corn in it. And Alright, so from what I understand about the label here, and I don't think there's anything I can go to, as in a website, do much more research on this, is that, nothing here says .com on it. No, just some legalese and distilled by Barrister and Brewer, North Carolina. Yeah, there's nothing on it saying of what kind of website. I'm sure did some digging to be able to find it, but as it is, when it mentions whiskey and bourbon, it's presuming that you, the consumer, doesn't really know all that much. But whiskey has its own rules. Bourbon definitely has rules on what constitutes a bourbon, and of that is at least 51% corn in the mash bill, and must be aged in charred white oak, American white oak barrels, which may not sound like much, but there is a French oak. This is American oak. Difference, actually important difference. One gives off spicy notes like peppers and whatnot. The other gives off much more cinnamon notes. Which is which, I always get confused on, and I never can remember. Why is this relevant? If you make your own beer, wines, meads, ciders, this help adds into the flavor of by putting oak chips, oak spirals, so forth and so on, in the secondary fermenter. I know I'm going off trail here, but still, you put it in the secondary fermenter, let it age out at least 2 weeks to pull out all the flavors out of the wood chips. Now, when it comes to bourbons, they put it in the barrels, white oak American barrels. It's been charred on the inside to get the same effect. Then, rather than us homebrewers who just throw in chips and hope that we're going to get a similar effect if it was in a barrel that we can't afford, or we don't have the room for, or countless other reasons. So where was I? Oh yes, bourbon mash, finished with toasted wood chips. That means, from what I can gather here, it wasn't in a charred white oak American barrel. It was probably placed in something a lot more sanitary. And they were using wood chips to flavor, as if it was a home brewer doing this to their beer or cider or mead or whatever. That was a long-winded account now, wasn't it? Alright, Creek Water. Nothing much on the label past that little line that led me on my tangent. 50% alcohol by volume. Wow, 50%. Heebie-jeebies. I do like the use of black and, off-white on the label. A little bit of gold flake in there. Isn't that nice? 100 proof. So yeah, I do like the simplicity. That is what caught my eye. I found several other interesting bourbons and whiskeys to sample for you guys, but this guy made its way in my little shopping cart because of the simplicity of the label. If ever you guys are thinking about starting your own beer or wine or whatever it is, the temptation is to always make the label complicated. Go simple. It needs to stand out on a shelf by either color or by print or design. And that stands out like a sore thumb because of lack of color, simplicity of design. Why do I know this? I cut my teeth on marketing and advertising for way too many years, and I don't recommend it for anyone else out there. All right, anyway, flip top bottle. I like it. The gold on it, you guys could have saved some pennies by just making it regular stainless steel rather than this. It doesn't seal as tight as one would imagine, but hey, that is a packaging issue, not a marketing issue. The Glencairn, a little overfill on the Glencairn, but hey, it's a beautiful day. Why not? Here we go. It does not say artificially colored, but then again, due to the laws in this great country of ours, you don't have to mark down that it is artificially colored or not. Most are artificially colored, so we will just presume, though you know how much trouble that'll get us into, but we will presume, brave our way through that area, and say it is artificially colored. It is a beautiful caramel with with yellow hues to it, making it like a honey rather than caramel. Nice and clear, but if you're going to be pro, better be clear. Thick. Now it's starting to run. Little legs. Little tearing. Not a whole lot. What does this say to us? So I'm on tangents today. What does that say to us? It means it's thick. The faster it will break loose and get those tears and those legs coming down, the more watery it is, which means less sugar is still there in solution. The thicker it is, the more sugar in solution. It makes it thicker on the tongue too. It makes it a heavier mouthfeel. It has a beautiful nose. Absolutely beautiful nose. You can smell the alcohol. You can smell the bite in it. Smell the caramel. There's almost some florals in it. You can smell the sweetness in it. Very few of these bourbons, whiskeys, or whiskeys have such a great nose. It's like I want to sniff them all day. But yeah, get some lemon, some orange, caramel, just general sweetness in there, some florals. Wonderful. Bitey, fiery, bitey, ethanol, chemically. It overwhelms a lot of the flavor in there, which if you dig, you get stone fruit, orange peel, charring, charred oak, more biting, more burning. Yep, I cannot disagree with you 100 proof. Yeah, cannot disagree with that at all. To the point that all these great flavors that are in there are just being crushed. Absolutely crushed by the amount of alcohol that's in it. Yeah. I think you guys, it's a great smell to it. It's got a great nose, got a great label, and good idea on the the bottle, but whew, light this on fire, for God's sakes. And that ethanol chemical flavor stays. It's got a medium hang time, which I wish it didn't. I wish it had a short hang time. So yeah, when it's not burning your tongue off, it's just tastes like you licked a tire for quite a bit. And then when that's all gone, then you start getting into these much nicer flavors. The orange, the charred oak, the stone fruit comes in. Yeah, I would assume it's just not working though. I would assume that the more you drank of this, the less of the burn would be involved, and the less of that ethanol would be there because you're getting used to that, and then the flavors in the background would come through. I'm still tasting ethanol. Oh. Can I go back to how great this smells? You guys, check this thing out. See if I'm just like way off base on this. It's got a fantastic nose. I don't know what else. You know, I hate giving really negative reviews. And this, I'm not going to give a negative review because it has a great nose. It's got a great look. It's got a great label. But I would have to say, this is definitely a bourbon you put in a cocktail in hopes that the sugary of the cola or the fruit juice or whatever it is overwhelms the burn and the ethanol. Try it. See what you guys think. I could be way off. I'm just some fool out there. You guys try it and see what you think. Any comments about this particular product down below be warmly accepted. Or better yet, go out, buy it, try it yourself, and put a review on the YouTube, letting the rest of us in the YouTube spirits community know your thoughts about this particular product, Crickwater. I'm really curious what the rest of you guys have to say about this. Can I say again what of a great nose it has? So, until next time, keep on drinking.